What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show recap with Mo. It is Tuesday, so you already know what time it is. But before we get into this thing, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shit that's going down right here, alright? So, like I stated before, it's Tuesday, so it's time to get into this trailer. So, let's go ahead and break down this synopsis very quickly. So what we're getting ready to talk about is episode number 11 of season 6, titled No Turning Back. So the synopsis for this episode states that as tensions between Karen and Fatima continue to rise, their dispute goes beyond the point of no return. Despite Calvin's advice, Maurice decides to meet with the police. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. So the trailer starts off with Maurice and Calvin. Now, I'm not sure exactly what time of the day, but I'm assuming it's morning because we see Calvin, he has a jacket or something in his arm. So I'm assuming that he's getting ready to leave. But before he leaves, he goes and has a conversation with Maurice. And now Maurice is sitting in the kitchen, and Maurice pretty much tells him that, I confessed. So I'm quite sure that Calvin is like, what are you talking about? So I'm quite sure that Maurice is going to have to, expound on what he's telling him for him to understand. And Calvin is going to try to talk him out of it, because we will see later in this trailer where Maurice is, walking through the police department, obviously, to go meet with the DA or with Logan, and Sabrina and Calvin are behind him trying to stop him from doing that, all right? So I'm not sure exactly what Maurice's plan is in all of this, but I mean, I can understand that he's frustrated. He wants to take all of this off of Sabrina because she's such a good person. But at the same damn time, bro, you did not commit a crime either. You did some craziness, you did some bullshit, but at the same time, you did not commit the crime. And then I'm also looking at Logan sideways, because if you've seen all of the surveillance and you saw the way that Maurice was responding in the surveillance, and you're talking about how you were a damn good actor. No, he wasn't acting. And if you could see that, you've been trained to read people's body language and shit like that, but obviously you don't care because you got this promotion and you're more concerned about your pockets being lined instead of getting the right damn criminal behind bars. So I'm looking at Logan sideways as well. I hope his ass get locked up, because right now this is ridiculous. And I'm sorry for this whole storyline with Maurice, because up until this point, he was going down the drain quite fast. And I'm not the only one that agrees with that. So even at this point, I don't think Maurice can redeem himself, even with, going over and beyond trying to save Sabrina. At this point, you've treated Sabrina like, dirt, bro. And now all of a sudden you want to man up and just take the rap. No, that's not going to end all of this, all right? I would like to know your thoughts on that. But anyhow, moving on from there, because I've been on that too long. Going on from there, we see the whole situation with Michael. Now, I've been asking for the past couple of weeks about what's going on with Michael, because we started this season off with Michael, and now we're finally getting ready to see Michael or hear something about Michael in this trailer. All right, so obviously Zach has come to this point that he feels like he needs to take full custody of Michael. Now, my concern is he lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. Now, in that big ass house, you got 1 bedroom. From my understanding, you got 1 damn bedroom. Now, is he going to kick the person out next door? Is that how we're going to, and knock some walls down to make this just one big, kumbaya situation? Like, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do, but I'm not sure, unless he has some evidence that a judge is going to allow Zach to have full custody. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not any of that. I work in IT, as I've stated before. So I don't know anything about, the legal system per se. But what I do know, they typically side with the mother. Now, unless there is some actual proof, like I said before, that, she was in some shady shit and she was doing something to harm the child, I could see the judge siding with Zach. So the look on Fatima's face is like, I don't know what they heard, from the meeting with the attorney, because I knew I think we heard in the previous episode where, he asked Fatima about, meeting with the attorney. She stated that they were going to meet about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that. So I'm not sure exactly what was conveyed to them when it came down to that. So maybe the look on her face is from that. I don't want to put too many assumptions on what her face looks like at this point, because I've been damn it wrong for a lot of... I've been daggone wrong a lot of times in these trailers, because Tyler, I'm not sure if it's Tyler per se or is it BET that's doing this. I'm not sure. But anyhow, going on from there, we see, okay, let's get into it. So we see Pam is going back and forth with Karen. They're talking about money. Now, it's funny to me. Obviously, they're still cleaning out Karen's shop or whatnot. And we see Pam, we see Aaron, of course, and we see Karen outside of her shop, because obviously they're still not allowing her to come in. All right, so we get that. Secondly, we see Pam is telling her, hey, you need this money. She's talking about, I don't need any assistance from him. Now, we obviously know who that him is, all right? Now, I'm just assuming that she's talking about Zach, because she says, I'm getting ready to call him. When she calls him, Fatima picks up the phone. She's like, hello. I'm not sure if Fatima already knew who it was. If the phone is if the phone was in front of Zach, she saw it ring, saw her name pop up, and was like, hold on, let me get that, because the body language of Zach, I'm not sure how that went down, but I am intrigued, because for the longest time, I haven't picked a side on either woman in any of this, and I've tried my best not to pick a side, and I'm going to continue not to pick a side and not be biased in this. But I feel some type of way when it gets to this point where grown folks cannot resolve their issues. Now, I know at some point in time, everyone has a point in their life where it just behooves me to just stay away from your ass, don't deal with you, don't talk with you, or I'm going to end up behind bars. I get it. But this right here with Karen and Fatima is ridiculous. Definitely over like Zach. Okay? Yes, I said it. All right? Now, this bothers me because we're going to go ahead and jump into the end of this as well, because we see Karen once again going over and beyond to threaten Fatima. Now, that's what I'm assuming, because she says what she says and Fatima responds. And we see the response from Zach and Andy, who's sitting in the midst of the conversation that just so happens to be on speakerphone. All right. So Fatima picks up the phone. Karen is like, oh, it's you. Fatima's like, yeah, it's me. You know what I'm saying? So Karen, later on in the trailer, states that she's going to shoot someone. Now, I'm assuming that she's talking to Fatima. That's what I'm assuming. But at the same time, who knows who Karen is talking to? Because it could be Aaron. She could feel some type of way about Aaron overstepping his boundaries. Shit, she can be talking about Pam because Pam yelled at her too much. Who in the hell knows? That's all I'm saying. So I'm intrigued, but I'm also over this whole situation, because at this point it almost becomes childish when you can't let shit go. Karen, go ahead and do what you need to do to, tell who the baby's father is. At this point, we, as the people that's watching the show, we really don't give a damn at this point, because, it's either going to be 1, 2, or 3. I don't know. And the third could be me. I just say, if we just going to throw names out there, you see what I'm saying? So anyhow, going on from there, we see Preston and Danny. Now, all right, so this storyline is a bore to me. I'm going to talk about it very quickly and I'm going to jump off of it, all right? So obviously, Preston got into some stuff previously, and he's still shook up about it. He's still under the influence of it, all right? I've never been in any situation like this unless it was something very, very serious. I'm not sure exactly what Danny had in that daggone pen. I'm not sure because he only took, he took one pull from it, I believe, but for him to be cross-dressing and shit, I've never done that before, not from no marijuana. I'm just saying. So, I don't know what he had. I don't know what Danny had off in there. But anyhow, now at this point, he's still in the zone. And obviously, she's calling someone because she's concerned about him. Now, we later see Zach shows up. And I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Zach and Preston. Maybe, Preston is trying to get up on Zach and hug him or whatnot, because it looks like Zach is trying to keep him off of him. I'm not sure. But who knows? Let's go ahead and move on. From there, we see Gary and Hayden, all right? So they're in the office, obviously having a conversation, maybe about Tamara. Have you heard from her? No, I ain't heard from her. Or maybe they found out about Tamara. Or they getting ready to go over to Tamara's crib because Gary's nosy ass has to find out every damn thing, right? So anyhow, going on from there, we see Zach coming into the room. Of course, Hayden is back to himself because he ain't been getting that loving that Tamara has been putting on his ass for the past few weeks. So now when he sees Zach, he got that same Hayden response, and he don't want to be around him because, he's unhappy, and every time he sees Zach, he sees Fatima. And so anyhow, I'm interested in that conversation. How is that going to go? Because we already knew that Zach was up there to meet with the attorney or whatnot. So I'm assuming this is when all of that went down. So going on from there, we see Sabrina and Maurice. Now, obviously, Maurice has told Sabrina about what he was going to do or what he has already done. And Sabrina is trying to talk him out of it. But of course, Maurice isn't hearing anybody as usual. So at this point, don't save him. Allow him to do what he wants to do. If he goes to jail or to prison for 15 years, allow him to do that. He's a grown-ass man. That's what he wants to do. Sabrina, save yourself. If he's going to get you out of jail, go ahead and accept that get out of jail free card. If that's what he wants to give you, shit, go on and take it. Now, if he's going to be that foolish to take the rap for another crime, then allow him to do it. All right? But it wouldn't be me. Because look, we're going to fight this till the wheels fall off, bro. I am definitely not going to prison for no damn body. Now, if I'm going to go to prison, it's going to be because I chose to do whatever I chose to do. But for Maurice to just feel like this is the only option he has is damn it ridiculous, all right? So with that being said, man, that's pretty much all I got from the trailer. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shiznit that's going down right here on this channel, all right? Appreciate y'all. Peace.